But let's bring in Mr. Zekeri now. Mr. Zekeri, was there equal gbas-gbos, as we would say, from the Obidient movement and from the other, political foot soldiers of the other political parties in 2023? Or you think the members of the Obidient movement were not civil and hence they alienated the Southwest voting bloc?
I must mention that while I understand the concerns, the gbas-gbos and the other thing, I am of the school of thought that politics is local and must be played locally. I understand the concerns of some other persons who are complaining that a certain voting bloc is alienated. I don't think that is true. I think by the next election, we will understand. The factors that drove the Obidient movement in 2023 are even more obvious now, are even more prevalent now. Hunger has taken over the place, and this is the best time for Nigerians to believe that a new Nigeria is possible. Now, I must mention that the toxicity you hear about is only on the streets of Twitter or X, as the case may be. I am not very prominent on Twitter. I am prominent on TikTok, and I know that people have conversations there. I am prominent on Facebook. I am prominent on Instagram. So there are other avenues. And those who are, propelling this toxicity on Twitter should understand that social media is not real life. It's called social media for a reason. Social media is for social conversation. But elections are done in real life. They are done in the polling units, they are done in the ward, they are done in the local government, and they are done in the state and the federation, as it were. Now, I must also mention that some of our key Obedients, like my brother Akin in the studio, I did a small flip over when I knew he was going to be on TV this morning. And I must commend the quality and the kind of work he had done prior to this time. We must realize that you cannot, when you have a shoe that is pinching your leg, you do not cut your leg to save the shoe. You cut the shoe to save your leg. So if people are getting angry that a certain group of persons, under the guise of Obidient movement are behaving badly, this thing cuts across board. So we must be cautious. We must, be cautious not to have what I call selective outrage, when you are angry with one and you refuse to be angry with the others for similar bad behavior. And if anybody was to leave the Obidient movement, for example, what are your alternatives? Where are you going to? Are you going to join the APC, or you are going to join the PDP that is on its final 40-day Fidao prayers, final burial, if you like? So the question is, why we must have these differences, and we must have this conversation, and we must disagree. We must not forget the key. And the crux of the matter, the key of the matter here is that Nigerians are suffering now more than they were suffering in 2023. In fact, some of us who a year ago, 2 years ago, think we were something, we have suddenly woken up to realize that, like Charlie Poppy sang in his song, 1,000 no they last again, 10,000 no they last again, 100,000 no they last, even 1 million no they last again. So we must come to this realization that we have a problem. And whether it is the Obidient movement or whether it is whatever other movement you want to call it, we must find solution. And the solution are not in the establishment. They are not in the established political party. It's neither in APC nor in PDP. So if the Labour Party, like some people are behaving badly in Abuja now, doing what they like, trying to kill the Labour Party, if the Labour Party is not there, the Obidient movement must now metamorphose into another kind of force or join any other political party to save Nigeria from what the obvious precipice that Mr. Aki mentioned just now.
But Mr. Zekeri, let's be honest with ourselves. It's a few months down the 2027 elections. Is the Obidient movement ready? With this acknowledgement of the mistake that happened in 2023, is the Obidient movement really ready to take on the ruling party and indeed any other party that may present a candidate for the 2027 presidential election, giving this particular acknowledgement of a weakness within its own camp?
There is no political party that is not weak at the moment. I do not think there was a mistake in 2023. Nigerians went out to vote. We knew the miracle of Port Harcourt, the miracle of Rivers State, where votes started coming out from nowhere. We knew the miracle of the voter suppression in Lagos, where a state that has over 22 million residents, only less than 1.something million people came out to vote. So we know these miracles happened. So there was no mistake. Nigerians did what they needed to do. Now, if the Obidient movement or Labour Party, let me not call Labour Party, if the movement, the people's movement in the Obidient movement is able to challenge the established political party, it's a discussion for another day. The PDP today, like I said, we are in the 40 days without prayers, the final burial of the PDP. They are gone. Now, the APC is making a similar mistake that the PDP of Goodluck Jonathan made in 2015. You know how many governors joined Jonathan in 2015? Now we have governors in 2011, then 2015. Now we have governors joining the APC. I am of the opinion that the APC will collapse in its own weight if it's not careful. So it's not about what can challenge. It is Nigerians versus the political class. So when elections come in 2027, the question will be, are you able to afford rice? Or are you now buying local rice with stone? We know local rice are good. We like local patronage. Are you able to afford fish? Are you able to buy melusa? Or you are going to be buying the one that has bones? The question is, are you able to buy turkey today? A lap of turkey is around 7,000, 8,000 for one.
Okay.
So are you able to buy turkey or buy eggs? Eggs is 300, 400. So you must now ask yourself those questions and ask yourself, in this election, which political party is able to answer some of my key concerns?
Okay. Ms. Akin, both of you quite intelligent gentlemen, and we are for